Shalom, everyone. So today we're going to be reading Psalm 119 out of the Hebrew English JPS, Jewish Publication Society Tanakh. And just want to highlight some things about Psalm 119. It is the longest chapter in the Bible, has 176 verses. It's the longest chapter in the Hebrew Bible. So what does that tell us? Or what should that tell us? That should tell us, just by that one fact alone, that is very, very, very important. The Most High doesn't make mistakes. Ahaya, he speaks, but he speaks through symbolism, obviously, through, imagery, through poetry, through so many different ways. But this is one of the ways where he's speaking to us, trying to hammer over a point. And as we get into the psalm, you will and should see a pattern, and that pattern continues throughout the entire 176 verse chapter that we are about to read. And we'll stop and talk about it as we go. All right, here we go. Happy are those whose way is blameless, who follow the teaching of the Lord. Happy are those who observe his decrees, who turn to him wholeheartedly. They have done no wrong, but have followed his ways. You have commanded that your precepts be kept diligently. Would that my ways were firm. I'm saying I wish my ways were firm. In keeping your laws, then I would not be ashamed. So when will you not be ashamed? When you keep the laws. When I regard all your commandments, when I pay attention to what you said on Mount Sinai and Mount Horeb, right? I will praise you with a sincere heart. As I learn your just rules, I will keep your laws. Do not utterly forsake me. So pattern is starting to emerge already, and we only got 8 verses in. What's the pattern? Laws, rules, commandments, laws, precepts, right? Teaching, Torah, instruction. So pattern emerging. How can a young man keep his way pure? By holding to your word. I have turned to you with all my heart. Do not let me stray from your commandments. In my heart, I treasure your promise. Therefore, I do not sin against you. Blessed are you, O Lord. Train me in your laws. With my lips, I rehearse all the rules you proclaimed. I rejoice over the way of your decrees. Another word for law. As over all riches, I study your precepts. I regard your ways. I take delight in your laws. I will not neglect your word. Deal kindly with your servant, that I may live to keep your word. Open my eyes, that I may perceive the wonders of your teaching. So really quickly, if you remember in Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 1 or Isaiah chapter 2, Yah said that he was going to shut the eyes and ears of his servants because, their eyes are going to they're heavy and their ears won't understand. So yes, we do have eyes and ears, but we can't perceive what is going on in the world because we have not studied his laws. Through studying his laws, our eyes are open. That is the light. And the Psalm says that. I think it's in Psalm 119, 142. But that is the light. We get our light from studying his laws and abiding to them and conforming to them with our action, because action comes from the heart, right? Put your money where your mouth is type of thing. When you're doing, when the Israelites said, we will hear, we will do. When you're doing, you're putting whatever's in your heart into action. So you should be depositing his laws into your memory, into your inner man, into your heart. And through that, you want to continue to learn his laws and his precepts. All right. I rejoice over the way of your decrees as overall riches. I study your precepts. I regard your ways. I take delight in your laws. I will not neglect your word. Deal kindly with your servant, that I may live to keep your word. Open my eyes, that I may perceive the wonders of your teaching. I am only a sojourner in the land. Do not hide your commandments from me. My soul is consumed with longing for your rules at all times. Commandments, rules, right? Teaching. You blast the accursed, insolent ones who stray from your commandments. All right, so that's big. The accursed, insolent ones are people that stray from Yah's commandments. What does Christianity teach? through Paul, through, all these other people, essentially that the law was done away with and Jesus is going to pay for it. That's completely untrue. It's a Greco-Roman lie written by the Piso family to distract and to subdue this the children of Israel. That's what the New Testament is. It's literally they attached their religion onto the oracles and teachings that Yah gave to his people, and then forced his people, the children of Yasharel, the Native Americans of America, the true Native Americans of America, which used to live in Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona before they kicked us off our land. We were supposed to be following these commandments, and then they gave us Jesus, forced them down our throat, through slavery. That, you can go look up the slave Bible and why that's even a thing, right? But yeah, this is how they did it. They took away our understanding and gave us Jesus so that we would stray from the laws, commandments, rules, that we would stray from the true way of Yah that he enjoined upon us on Mount Sinai and in Mount Oreb, right? Take away from me the taunt and abuse, because I observe your decrees. Though princes meet and speak against me, your servant studies your laws. For your decrees are my delight, my intimate companions. My soul clings to the dust. Revive me in accordance with your word. I have declared my way. You have answered me. So you got to make a choice. Are you going to continue to worship the religion of Christianity, which is complete lawlessness? They even came up with a story that I think it was Peter or something like that, and that all food is made clean. No, it's not. Yah made it very clear to us. All food is not clean. He gives us very clear instruction of what to eat, what not to eat for our day. And there's so much reason behind that. You can go look up pork and what it does to the human body. Look up chicken and what it does to the human body. Look up all these different things. You want to have a midwell steak, that's essentially drinking blood, and what that does to the human body. All of these meals, not meals, I wouldn't even call them that. All of these things that you're eating and you're putting the bacon, the sausage, they have parasites in it. And if you don't detox and you don't know those things and you just think you're going to eat a bacon, egg, and cheese right before church on Sunday, then you're going against Yah's law, one, but you're also poisoning yourself because you're going against his word, right? And there's worms that eat you from the inside out. And the Bible talks about this too. But there's worms and all types of different hookworm, tapeworm, liver flukes, all these types of different things that come from those exact foods that he told you not to eat, right? And now we have all these health issues and cancers and this and that because you don't understand, because we've been tricked and we have not put our whole heart into studying this word that we've all had before us since at least 1611 and before that, right? When the King James, quote unquote, Bible came out. Continuing. My soul clings to the dust. Revive me in accordance with your word. Excuse me. I read that. Make me understand the way of your precepts that I may study your wondrous acts. I am racked with grief. Sustain me in accordance with your word. Remove from me remove all false ways from me. Favor me with your teaching. I have chosen the way of faithfulness. So again, you have a choice to make. You can choose the worship of Jesus, but that's the wrong choice. I have set your rules before me. This is the correct choice. I cling to your decrees. O Lord, do not put me to shame. I eagerly pursue your commandments. You broaden my understanding. When you eagerly pursue Yah's commandments, and you really try to understand what is being said in the Hebrew specifically, because even the translation is messed up. It doesn't say, like, when we're children, they tell you, oh, don't say Jesus Christ or something like that because you're speaking God's name in vain. One, Jesus is not God. He's a fairy tale that never existed. But two, that's not what it says in the Hebrew. It says, don't let his name be brought to nothing. And most people don't even understand that the creator's name is Ahaya, right? And if you want to go even further, it's Ahaya, Ashe, Ahaya, I will be what I will be. So when his people call on them, they can call on the name of salvation, Yahayasha, that means Yah is salvation, right? Or whatever name. You need a healer, the conjugation of Rapha and Ahaya, whatever that is. Because I don't know Hebrew specifically like that, but that's what it would be, and so on and so forth. So I will be what I will be. Whatever you need Ahaya to be if you're in covenant with him and you're his people, that's what he's going to be for you, right? Teach me, O Lord, the way of your laws. I will observe them to the utmost. Give me understanding that I may observe your teaching and keep it wholeheartedly. Let me lead me in the path of your commandments, for that is my concern. Turn my heart to your decrees and not the love of gain, right? No money, no get in the bag, none of that stuff. Our whole focus should be understanding why we're here in the first place. Why are we all breathing? What is this creation that we live in? What is reality itself, right? And we learn all this stuff through studying his laws, his precepts, his words, and really trying to perform Deuteronomy 8:3 to our utmost extent. And that's the one that says, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds forth out of the mouth of Yah, right? Because once you try to look up every single word that you don't understand, you start to see the bigger picture. That's turning to him with all your heart. Turn my heart with your decrees and not the love of gain. Avert my eyes from seeing falsehood. By your ways, preserve me. Fulfill your promise to your servant, which is for those who worship you. Remove the taunt that I dread, for your rules are good, right? Even my own mother. I'm ever since I started to try to adhere and conform my life to the teachings of Yah and the way I'm supposed to live, I've been made fun of by everyone. I've been called the Antichrist. I've been shamed by my own mother. We don't really even talk anymore, calling me names. I'm a Muslim. I'm in a cult, this, that. No, I just look at the words on the page. I do my best to try to understand them and live by the words on the page. And that's what we should all be doing, not what's coming out of the pulpit, because they're all wrong. That's the blind leading the blind. Those are the pastors that Ahaya said that were leading his people astray, right? Up there, speaking out of turn. They should not be speaking, especially, these Greco-Roman New Age pastors, right? That have no idea what they're speaking about, leading everyone astray, not only Yah's people. Yah gave the word, these oracles and understanding to these people in their hearts. But everybody's asleep right now because they believe in Jesus. Once you renounce and denounce Jesus, like it says in Isaiah 27:10, right? Or Deuteronomy 4, I think it's verse 23. Go look them up. Once you put down the idolatry and grind the stones into chalk stones, the stones on the altar, which is again a representation of Jesus, then you get the understanding, right? See, I have longed for your precepts. By your righteousness preserve me. May your steadfast love teach me, O Lord, your deliverance as you have promised. I shall have an answer for those who taunt me, for I have put my trust in your word. Do not utterly take the truth away from my mouth, for I have put my hope in your rules. I will always obey your teaching forever and ever. Forever and ever, I will always obey your teaching forever. It doesn't say until Jesus comes, until Christianity emerges, until 2000 AD, 2025. It doesn't say any of that. Forever and ever, I will obey your teaching. It's right there. I will walk about at ease, for I have turned to your precepts. I will speak of your decrees and not be ashamed in the presence of kings. I will delight in your commandments, which I love. I reach out for your commandments, which I love. I study your laws. Okay, we should see the pattern. It should be crystal clear. You could take your glasses off now. You should see it, right? Your commandments, I love. I study your what? Your laws. Remember your word to your servant. That's like, remind me, right? Though through which you have given me hope. This is my comfort. Your word is my comfort in my affliction. That your promise has preserved me. Though the arrogant have cruelly mocked me, I have not swerved from your teaching. I remember your rules of old. O Lord, I find comfort in them. I am seized with rage because of the wicked who forsake your teaching, right? He's telling you right here who the wicked are. The wicked people are people that forsake his teaching. That's never going to change, right? Most people won't even touch the what we call the Old Testament, which is really the Hebrew Bible. They won't touch it. They want to start in John 3:16 or start in Matthew but all of those books supposedly, are supposed to work in conjunction with the Hebrew Bible because it started somewhere. Jesus just didn't drop from the sky. There's a backstory to everything. And once you read that backstory, which is the whole Old Testament or slash Hebrew Bible, and you read it for understanding and you try to figure out all those difficult passages, and you really put your mind in the context and correct context of it, of what a Hebrew would have understood, then it opens up. But the reason that we don't have correct understanding is because there's not enough actual Hebrews. Again, African Americans, Native Americans in the United States, black people, whatever you want to call them, they're all still asleep. Once they start to wake up and realize the trickery that's going on and put their mind and hearts to this word, then they'll explain to everybody else what this word really says. Not what you think it says, not what your seminary person thinks it says, not what the wicked thinks it says, right? And that's how Yah wants it. That's how he designed it. Your laws are a source of strength to me, right? It doesn't say Jesus is a source of strength. It says your laws are a source of strength. Wherever I may dwell, I remember your name at night, O Lord, and obey your teaching. This has been my lot, for I observed your precepts. The Lord is my portion. I have resolved to keep your words. I have implored you with all my heart. Have mercy on me in accordance with your promise. I have considered my ways and have turned back to your decrees. That's self-reflection right there. Being able to take a look around, right, and to realize that you're in the wrong, and then changing to line up to the standard that our Creator set forth before us, right? The same way, a car comes with an instruction manual. Humans come with an instruction manual, and it's called the Torah, right? It's the same thing. There's a standard to be met. There's a way to live with morals and ethics and kindness and humbleness and worship to the Creator. And we've ignored all of it, right? Now it's time to get back and turn back to his decrees. It's time to repent. I have hurried and not delayed to keep your commandments, right? Once that light bulb goes off and that epiphany goes off and you understand the world that we live in and it's designed to walk contrary to the Creator. They put pork in everything by another name. They put leaven in everything by other names. They put, they put sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet. That's why we're all so comfortable watching R-rated movie or any of these movies, or listening to any type of music, or having lustful sex, or any of these things, right? It's all contrary to the way that Yah designed this place. Though the bonds of the wicked are coiled around me. Coiled, that's an interesting word, like a snake, right? I have not neglected your teaching. I arise at midnight to praise you for your just rules. I am a companion to all who fear you, those that keep your precepts. Your steadfast love, O Lord, fills the earth. Teach me your laws. You have treated your servant well, according to your word. Teach me good sense and knowledge, for I have put my trust in your commandments. Before I was humbled, I went astray, but now I keep your word. And that's actually true for my life too. I was living a crazy, wild, ridiculous life, a lustful person, on drugs, alcohol, lusting after women, just doing the most, right? Yah brought me down. He showed me myself, and I was able to understand. And yes, I started out in Christianity and all that stuff. But once I started reading for myself and I was humbled and my heart was contrite, I'm like, why am I even here? I don't want to be here, all that stuff, right? He shows you step by step, day by day. The more time you spend with him, the more time he'll spend with you. And you'll soon start to get that good sense and knowledge, and you will soon start to understand. But it is a choice, and it is your choice, right? Everybody goes through stuff in this life. And it's at those moments that you must choose life, right? Continuing. You are good and beneficent. Teach me your laws. This would have been, just real quick, my side opinion. This would have been a great psalm, a great place. Again, 176 verses to talk about Jesus, even in a hidden way. But it doesn't. The longest chapter in the Bible, just to reiterate, is all about laws, statutes, and commandments and following them, because the law is eternal. Though the arrogant have accused me falsely, I observe your precepts wholeheartedly. Their minds are thick like fat. As for me, your teaching is my delight. It was good for me that I was humbled, and I will agree with that, because if I didn't go through whatever I went through, and I'm still going through a little bit right now, I would not be sitting here reading this. I don't even know where I would be. But I'm glad that he allowed me to snap out of the slumber that I was in and to truly wake up, because all I want to do now is learn and teach and do and live peacefully and humbly in the true way that we're supposed to be living in this world. We're not supposed to be living to pay bills and die to our government that hates us and is poisoning us. No, we're living upside down. That's why we get what we get. Once we wake up and snap out of it, we'll be fine. We get to live in the land and yeah. It was good for me that I was humbled so that I may learn your laws. I prefer your teaching. I prefer the teaching you proclaim to the thousands of gold and silver. So his teaching is worth more than, money. Your hands made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn your commandments, right? So yes, his hands, but another subtle message here. He has a right hand and he has a left hand. His right hand is Moses. His left hand is, I hate to say it, is Mastema, what we call Satan or the devil or whatever. But using those two, he's going to form and mold you like a potter molding a earthen vessel. Those who fear you will see me and rejoice, for I have put my hope in your word. I know, O Lord, that your rulings are just. Rightly you have humbled me. May your steadfast love comfort me in accordance with your promise to your servant. May your mercy reach me, that I may live, for your teaching is my delight. Let the insolent be dismayed, for they have wronged me without cause. I will study your precepts. May those who fear you, those who know your decrees, turn again to me. May I wholeheartedly follow your laws so that I do not come to grief, right? And people want to say that Jesus is mentioned in all the books of the Bible when he's hidden and this and that. No. It says it, right? May I follow your laws. It doesn't say, may I worship your son, right? Which is crazy in itself to even think that we're all tricked like that. I long for your deliverance. I hope for your word. My eyes pine away for your promise. I say, when will you comfort me? Though I have become like water skin dried in smoke, I have not neglected your laws. How long has your servant to live? I used to ask that question all the time. When will you bring my persecutors to judgment? It's been 500 years almost, or actually, no, it has been 500 years since we got kicked out of Jerusalem, which is Great Basin National Park. And this was predicted in Daniel, where it's the 70 times 7, 490 years, right? That's that prophecy. And we're there. The insolent have dug pits for me, flouting your teaching. All your commandments are enduring. I am persecuted without cause. Help me. They almost wiped me off the earth. I did not abandon your precepts as befits your steadfast love. Preserve me so that I may keep the decree you proclaim. The Lord exists forever. Your word stands firm in heaven. Your faithfulness is for all generations. You have established the earth and it stands. They stand this day to carry out your rulings for all of your servants. Were not your teaching my delight, I would have perished in my affliction. I will never neglect your precepts. Right? And this is so true. If I didn't turn to the Creator, Ahaya, I would have perished in my affliction. I just said it to you guys, and I didn't even know this verse was coming up. Right? But I chose, as you all have a choice, to study his teaching. Right? One way to do it is just to compare the Old Testament to the New Testament. If you want to say you believe the the New Testament, right? Compare what Paul says to what the Creator says, and just look at the differences. That's one way to start. I've done that, and I'm like, wow, like how did they get away with that? Were not your teaching my delight, I would perish in my affliction. I will never neglect your precepts, for you have preserved my life through them. I am yours. Save me. For I have turned to your precepts. The wicked hope to destroy me, but I ponder your decrees. I have seen that all things have their limit, but your commandment is broad beyond measure. Oh, how I love your teaching. It is my study all day long. Your commandments make me wiser than my enemies. They always stand by me. I have gained more insight than all my teachers, for your decrees are my study. When I first started out in trying to apply my heart and mind for understanding and to walk this walk, I used to reach out to pastors with any questions I would have, and I would never get a true answer. And then I would just sit with the material, pray, And then things would happen in my life where the answer would be revealed to me. Sometimes the same day, sometimes a week later. You have to be looking for it and paying attention. But the answer would come through, somebody at Walmart, just a random stranger, or something that you listen to on the radio, or like the answer would come in the strangest way, but you would know that it's the answer that you just prayed for in relation to understanding, trying to gain understanding, right? But you got to want it. I have avoided every evil way so that I may keep your word, right? So another way that you must show to make a choice, you have to put down the movies, the music, the social media, the lust. You got to make choices now, right? That's avoiding every evil way. I have not departed from your rules, for you have instructed me. How pleasing is your word to my palate, sweeter than honey. I ponder your precepts. Therefore, I hate every false way. Your word is a lamp to my feet, a light for my path. I have firmly sworn. So his word is a lamp to my feet, a light to my path. His word illuminates this dark world, this dark cloud that surrounds us right now, right? And because the New Testament is not Yah's word, it's the word of men and traditions of men. Why do I say that? Because it's mixed with Plato and Homer and Menander, all these Greek playwrights and whatever Paul says and all this stuff. That's not the word of Yah, right? And if you look at Bible dictionaries, they'll tell you the scriptures are the Old Testament, and that's it, right? Continuing. I am very much afflicted. O Lord, preserve me in accordance with your word. Accept, O Lord, my freewill offerings. Teach me your rules. Though my life is always in danger, I do not neglect your teaching. Though the wicked have set a trap for me, I have not strayed for your precepts. That trap is Christianity or any other religion, Muslim, what Islam, whatever, right? That's the trap. They set all this stuff up hundreds of years ago, knowing that the time will come, Yah's appointed time will come, and his chosen people will rise, and they want as many of us to choose incorrectly as possible. That's why there's traps everywhere, right? But you could see through it. And if you just choose correctly and read the words on the page and pray and do all the things that he says to do, we will hear and we will do. Through the doing, being a doer of his word, that's where the understanding comes from. Because again, doing comes from the heart. And even if you get the doing part wrong, he will guide you the right way until you're lined up with his word. Your decrees are my eternal heritage. They are my heart's delight. I am resolved to follow your laws to the utmost forever. You are my protection and my shield. I hope for your word. Keep away from me, you evildoers, that I may observe the commandments of my God. Support me as you have promised, that I may live. Do not thwart my expectations. Sustain me that I may be saved, and I will always muse upon your laws. You reject all who stray from your laws, for they are false and deceitful. Right here. Everyone who strays from Yah's laws, right? Laws not away with. Everyone who strays from Yah's laws, Yah rejects because it's false and deceitful. We've been tricked, and it's okay. It's tough. It's really tough to understand and comprehend and swallow down, but it's the truth. Why would you make Jesus's words red and not the Creator's words red in the Old Testament? Well, why would any text be made red? Go look that up, right? When you make a text red, it's because you're trying to create an unbreakable emotional connection between the reader and the subject matter that's being presented. That's why texts are made red. And the New Testament, Jesus's words are made red by Louis Klops. He was a Freemason. Look it up. Continuing. You do away with the wicked as if they were dross. Rightly I love your decrees. My flesh creeps from fear of you. I am in awe of your rulings. I have done what is just and right. Do not abandon me to those who would wrong me. Guarantee your servant's well-being. Do not let the arrogant wrong me. My eyes pine away for your deliverance, for your promise of victory. This is where I am today. I'm waiting. Like, Yah, when are you going to bring us home? As it says in Ezekiel 37, when are these dry bones going to wake up so we can go to the mountains of Yasharel in Nevada, the ancient mountains, the primeval mountains with the abyss lying below? When are we going home? Right? I would love to go home every single day. Yah, can you please bring us home? Wake your people up. Give us understanding. Please, 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 please. Deal with your servant as befits your steadfast love. Teach me your laws. It doesn't say introduce me to your son. It doesn't say show come on, guys, let's get it. I am your servant. Give me understanding that I may know your decrees. It is time to act for the Lord, for they have violated your teaching. Rightly do I love your commandments more than gold, even fine gold. Truly, by all your precepts, I walk straight. I hate every false way. Your decrees are wondrous. Rightly do I observe them. Decree, law, commandment, decree, law. Like, we should be seeing the pattern, right? If we haven't already. The words you inscribed give light and grant understanding to the simple. Go look at Deuteronomy 5. It tells us what the inscription is. It's the 10 Commandments. Those are written by the finger of God. They give light. I open my mouth wide. I pant, longing for your commandments. Turn to me and be gracious to me, as is your rule with those who love your name. Make my feet firm through your promise. Do not let iniquity dominate me. Redeem me from being wronged by man, that I may keep your precepts. Show favor to your servant and teach me your laws. My eyes shed streams of water because men do not obey your teaching. We don't get it. We're still stiff-necked and stubborn, the Israelites, and everybody else is just following what, the government and society and all that stuff puts in front of us. We don't get it. You are righteous, O Lord. Your rulings are just. You have ordained righteous decrees. They are firmly enduring. I am consumed with rage over my foes' neglect of your words. Your word is exceedingly pure, and your servant loves it. Though I am belittled and despised, I have not neglected your precepts. Your righteousness is eternal. Your teaching is true. Though anguish and distress come upon me, your commandments are my delight, right? You going through something in life, you should be running to God's word. You should be running for comfort and running for protection. And again, Yah's word is only the Hebrew Bible, what you consider the Old Testament. Your righteous decrees are eternal. That means forever. And they give me understanding that I may live. I call with all my heart. Answer me, O Lord, that I may observe your laws. I call upon you. Save me, that I may keep your decrees. It doesn't say save me that I may worship your son. It says save me that I can keep your laws, right? I rise before dawn and cry for help. I hope for your word. My eyes greet each watch of the night as I meditate on your promise. You got trouble sleeping at night? Ever since 2020, I want to say myself, that's like routine. I'm waking up every 2 hours or so, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock. I'm waking up, right? Why do you think that is? Yah's calling out to his people. Are you going to choose to scroll, or are you going to choose to finally look at what my word says and do that? Hear my voice as befits your steadfast love. Those who pursue intrigue draw near, for they are far from your teaching. You, O Lord, are near, and all your commandments are true. I know from your decrees of old that you have established them forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. See my affliction and rescue me, for I have not neglected your teaching. Torah, instruction, your teaching. Champion my cause and redeem me. Preserve me in accordance with your promise. Deliverance is far from the wicked, for they have not turned to your laws. What do they say at church when you go to church on Sunday? Oh, Jesus delivered me. I'm delivered to do this. No, it's far from the wicked. Because you haven't turned to Yah's laws. You don't even try to understand. You go to church 1 day a week on a day that was never prescribed to be the day of worship to a people that was never given to worship on the Sabbath. It was only given to Yasharel, to the children of Israel. And that comes from Jubilees. Your mercies are great, O Lord, as is your rule. Preserve me. Many are my persecutors and foes. I have not swerved from your decrees. I have seen traitors and loathed them, because they did not keep your word in mind. See that I have loved your precepts. O Lord, preserve me as befits your steadfast love. Truth is the essence of your word. Your just rules are eternal. Princes have persecuted me without reason. My heart thrills at your word. I rejoice over your promise as one who obtains great spoil. I hate and abhor falsehood, but I love your teaching. Excuse me. I praise you 7 times each day for your just rules. Those who love your teaching will enjoy well-being. They encounter no adversity. I hope for your deliverance, O Lord. I observe your commandments. I obey your decrees and love them greatly. I obey your precepts and decrees. All my ways are before you. May my plea reach you, O Lord. Grant me understanding in accordance with your word. May my petition come before you. Save me in accordance with your promise. My lips shall pour forth praise, for you teach me your laws. My tongue shall declare your promise, for all your commandments are just. Lend your hand to help me, for I have chosen your precepts. I have longed for your deliverance, O Lord. Your teaching is my delight. Let me live that I may praise you. May your rules be my help. It doesn't say may your son be my help. May your rules be my help. Just trying to open your eyes to the trickery and the deception and the mockery and all that stuff that's going on. This is the longest chapter in the Tanakh, in the Hebrew Bibles, in the Old Testament. The longest chapter, even in the New Testament. There's not a chapter longer than this. Yah is making a point. He's making a statement. He's making a declaration. It's all about his laws, his rules, his commandments, what he said on Mount Sinai and Mount Oreb to his people. That never changed, and it never will. I have strayed like a lost sheep. Search for your servant, for I have not neglected your commandments. All right, so I just, again, wanted to bring this out to help everybody else understand what I didn't understand at first and how deep the deception goes. You know, Christianity is a complete abomination. It's literally comes from Rome and Esau and Japheth and all them. It's like Jesus is like this super anti-hero, if you will. And all of his story comes from, go look up the origin story of Abraham, of Moses, of Isaac, of Jacob, of even their Greco-Roman gods, you know, the Bacchus, the Min, Ta, Horus, Isis. It's all those entities combined into one, and then you get Superman Jesus. That's what it is. Again, I'm not saying to actually directly go look that stuff up, but I have done that, and that's where you get the superhero of Jesus. All right, that's all I have for today. I love you guys. Salam.